This is the first time in my life I watched a 4 hour and 18 minutes of podcast. And I was glued. I'm talking about the recent interview of Vijay Mallya by Raj Shamani. No gimmicks, no filter, no sponsored agenda. Just 4 hours of raw truth, facts and emotion. And by the end of it, I felt something I never thought I would: respect. Not just for the businessman Vijay Mallya, but for the man himself. For years, the Indian media made Vijay Mallya the poster boy for corporate fraud, chore, absconder, willful defaulter. Prime-time anchors judged him before any court could. And we believed it because they shouted it loud, shouted it long. But this podcast, it changed the frame. Mallya says the total Kingfisher debt was 6,203 crore. The Indian government, through asset recovery, has now received 14,131 crore. Yes, more than double. So, what scam are we talking about? He didn't flee India in the middle of the night. He left on a pre-scheduled trip. There was no lookout notice, no court ban, no arrest warrant. His passport was revoked after he left, when the media frenzy exploded. And here is the hardest truth. When your name is dragged through the mud every single night on TV, coming back to clear your name might sound noble, but in practice, it's a legal suicide. This isn't just about Mallya. It's about what is this kind of public lynching does to India's image, especially for global investors. We celebrate entrepreneurships until someone struggles. Then we switch to vilification. This man, Vijay Mallya, built brands that defined a generation. Kingfisher, McDowell's, Berger Paints, Force India, RCB. But none of that mattered once the TRPs were for grab. Sensationalism won, journalism lost big time. And what message does that send to the world? Now here is where the podcast shines brilliantly. 4 hours of storytelling, not one moment felt like PR. Mallya admits to mistakes, he apologized to employees, he shows documents, he explains business decisions like giving personal guarantees for loans. One honest conversation can do what 100 press release never can do. It humanizes. When people are heard, they are understood. He said he didn't run. He said banks got more than they gave. He made 4 settlement offers, all rejected. He invested 3,000 crore of his own money trying to save Kingfisher. And now, here is the part that shocked me the most. Back in 2008, when the global recession hit and companies like Lehman Brothers collapsed, Mallya felt the heat too. He made a plan, downsize the staff, cut unprofitable routes, survive the storm. But he says, then Finance Minister Mr. Pranab Mukherjee asked him not to. The country needs air connectivity, he said. Don't lay off people. The banks will support you. So Mallya listened not to his accountants but to his government. He kept jobs, he kept routes alive, but that help never came. And that one decision to trust the system instead of hard numbers and facts was the beginning of the end. He even addressed the infamous 60th birthday bash. It happened years after the airline shutdown. He says it was his money from other business. And he didn't want to be a hypocrite celebrating it abroad. Honestly, would we have judged another person the same way? Yes, employees suffered. He didn't deflect that. He called it his biggest regret. But then came a final twist. He says he went to court to release 260 crore to pay staff salaries. The banks objected. The court refused. Let that sink in. This isn't a video to glorify Vijay Mallya. It's a wake-up call about how stories are told and who gets to tell them. Media trial destroys reputations. Silence gets mistaken for guilt, and flamboyance can become a curse. But truth as a way of surviving. Watch that podcast, but don't just listen to Mallya. Scroll down like I did. I read through all the comments. You will see something rare and powerful. Former employees speaking up, not with anger, but with gratitude. People who once doubted him now saying, I always had a feeling there was more to the story. Others writing, I'm shocked. I've changed my opinion. Some even saying, I've become a fan of Vijay Mallya after this. It's not PR. It's not manipulation. It's emotion. It's hindsight. It's people finally hearing and feeling the other side. And it shows one thing with absolute clarity. When truth speaks without interruption, people listen. And sometimes they change. You will walk away with questions and maybe, just maybe, a strange new feeling that we got the story wrong. Mallya isn't asking for sympathy. He's asking for fairness. And Raj Shamani gave him something every citizen deserves. A platform. Uninterrupted platform. That's the future of media. And that's how a nation learns to think again.